हेलो स्टूडेंट्स एंड वेलकम बैक टू एजुकेशन एटर्निटी। सो आज का टॉपिक है ट्रांसपोर्टेशन इन एनिमल्स एंड प्लांट्स। सो ट्रांसपोर्टेशन होता क्या है, एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जाने को हम लोग ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कहते हैं। अब जो यूनिसेल्युलर ऑर्गेनिजम्स होते हैं, मतलब एक ही सेल वाले, सो ट्रांसपोर्टेशन in these type happens through the process of either diffusion and osmosis। diffusion क्या होता है, गैसेस का मिक्स हो जाना आपस में, डिफ्यूजन होता है ऑस्मोसिस का प्रोसेस है, वो भी हम लोग आगे डिस्कस करेंगे। सो अभी तो डिफ्यूजन फिर एक बार डिस्कस करते हैं। डिफ्यूजन इज द इंटरमिक्सिंग ऑफ पार्टिकल्स ऑफ सॉलिड्स of liquids and gases. In diffusion, two different liquids or gases or solution can mix together till they have a uniform composition. In scientific words, the random motion of particles in order to attain equilibrium of concentration is known as diffusion। यह होता है diffusion। दूसरा, osmosis। In living organism, the transport of most substances takes place through osmosis. In osmosis, water moves from where it is present in large amount to the region where it is present in less amount. This passage takes place through a semi-permeable membrane or through a special membrane, and this membrane is a semi-permeable membrane, and it is so because it allows only some special types of particles to pass through it. Cell membrane and cellophane sheet are some examples of semi-permeable membrane. So we can define osmosis as the movement of water through semi-permeable membrane from an area of higher concentration to an area of lower concentration. This is your osmosis. Now circulatory system in humans. The first thing in the circulatory system of humans is blood. So blood is a type of tissue which plays a very important role in the circulatory system. Blood works as the carrier of various other substances. The main component of blood are blood cells, platelets and plasma. Now blood cells. First one is the RBCs or the red blood cells. These are their shape is disc. They contain pigment which is known as the hemoglobin, and hemoglobin binds with oxygen, and thus it is mainly responsible for transportation of oxygen in our body, and hemoglobin transfers the amount of carbon dioxide. Second one is the white blood cells or the WBC. These are present in various shapes. Basically WBCs engulf foreign particles and harmful microbes, and thus they help us to fight diseases and they make our immune system strong. The third is the platelets. So platelets are fragments of cells which are responsible for clotting or coagulation of a blood. In case of an injury, the blood clots after some times. This prevents excessive loss of blood. Clotting of blood is the defense system in the mechanism of our body. Now plasma. Plasma, the liquid part of the blood is known as plasma, and it is pale in color and it is the largest part of the blood. Now blood vessels. Blood vessels are basically of three main types. The first one is arteries, second is veins, and third is capillaries. What are arteries? Arteries are made up of thicker wall and they carry oxygenated blood from the heart to different organs. The second is veins. Veins are of thinner wall and they carry deoxygenated blood from different organs to the heart. The third one is the capillaries, and they are the fine branches of arteries and veins. Now the heart. So the heart is a small muscular organ which is responsible for pumping of the blood. The human heart has four chambers, namely the right auricle, the right ventricle, the left auricle and the left ventricle. The upper chambers are called the auricle or the atrium, whereas the lower chambers are known as the ventricles. The following flow chart or this diagram which is being shown right now on your screen. So basically from the body it gets to the right atrium, from the right atrium it goes to the right ventricle, from the right ventricle it goes through the pulmonary artery, through the pulmonary artery it goes through the lungs, from the lungs it goes to the pulmonary vein goes it straight into the left atrium, from the left atrium it goes into the left ventricle and then to the body. Now what is heartbeat? While pumping the blood, the different chambers of the heart, it contract and relax in turns. The contraction and relaxation of different chambers produces a thumping sound. This sound can be heard as a heartbeat. One heartbeat indicates one cycle of pumping action by all the four chambers. Now what is pulse? At certain location in the body, a pulse similar to heartbeat can be felt. This perhaps can cause blood rushing in with every heartbeat. This pulse rate is same as the heart rate. Pulse can be felt near the wrist, neck, ankle, etc. Now, what is a stethoscope? A stethoscope is a device which is used by doctor to listen the heartbeat or the pulse. Stethoscope is composed of long rubber tube and it has two earpieces and a diaphragm. Now, excretion. In all living organisms, various activities continue to take place inside the body. These activities are collectively known as metabolism. Many harmful substances are created during metabolic activities. These substances can prove lethal if not removed from the body in time. The process of removal of waste from the body is known as excretion. What is excretory system in humans? The human's excretory system is composed of a pair of kidney, two tubes which is called the ureter and the urinary bladder. Ureter and the urinary bladder. So the kidney is a bean-shaped structure which works like filters. When a blood containing waste enters the kidney, the waste is filtered from the blood and purified blood is sent to the normal circulation. The waste along with the water is transferred to the urinary bladder through the uterus and it is called the urine. Urine contains 95% water, 2.5% of urea and a 2.5% of other waste. Urine is expelled out from time to time. In normal human beings, the course of one day, that is 24 hours, we pass about 1 to 1.8 liter of urine. Now, metabolism of proteins secretes nitrogenous waste in the body. These nitrogenous waste is the main waste in animals. This waste takes different from different animals. These are ammonia, urea and uric acid. Based on the type of nitrogen waste, the animals can be divided into following categories. First is ammonotelic. Ammonia is the main nitrogenous waste in these type of animals. Lot of water is required for removal of ammonia. Second is urotelic. Urea is the main nitrogenous waste in these animals and less water is required for the removal of urea. Uricotelic. Uric acid is the main nitrogenous waste in these type of animals and the removal of uric acid requires negligible amount of water. Now, transportation in plants. There are two tissues, namely the xylem and the phloem, for the process of transportation in plants. These are composed of long tube-like structures. Xylem is responsible for the transport of water, whereas phloem is responsible for the transport of food. Remember, xylem is responsible for transport of water, while phloem is responsible for transport of food. Plants take water from the soil. From soil, water enters the root hair by the process of osmosis. From root hair, water moves to xylem. Various factors are responsible for the transportation of water through the xylem in the stems. The transport of water through xylem is known as the ascent of sap. The process of movement of water includes the following steps. Root pressure is responsible for the rise up of water. Capillary action pushes the water further up. Adhesion, cohesion, water molecules stick to each other and make a continuous column inside the xylem. Transpiration pull. There are numerous small pores on the surface of the leaves. These pores are known as the stomata. Water vapor is continuously removed through the stomata during daytime. Removal of water vapor from the leaves in plants is known as transpiration. And this creates a pull in the underlying xylem tissue. This pull is known as the transpiration pull. Now, food. Food is prepared in the leaves and it needs to be transported to different parts of the plant for use and storage. Transport of foods takes place through the phloem. It contains cell which is called the sieve tubes which transfer food from one part to the another part of the plant. The food is transported in solution from which is called the phloem sap. Phloem sap moves from a sugar source which is leaf to a sugar sink part where food can be stored like the roots. This process is known as translocation, and translocation involves diffusion and osmosis. What is transpiration? Transpiration is the process of loss of water from stomata in plant leaves. It also occurs in flowers, stem, roots. It is similar to evaporation. During transpiration, water vapor is released and carbon dioxide is taken by the leaf. During night, in the absence of sunlight, where transpiration stops. In the addition, the plant detects when too much of water is lost. To prevent further water loss, the stomata closes, effectively shutting down the transpiration. That's it, friends. The chapter is over. Thank you so much for watching this video.